Yes, yes, yes. What's going on, world? This is your man, Buddy Rahmig, and we are back at it, y'all, with another episode of the Yeah Buddy podcast. And if this is your first time tuning in, hey, thank y'all for sitting down, listening to the Yeah Buddy podcast. If you're a returning friend, hey, thank you for tuning back in. We appreciate the support. And you know how we do, like every episode, I like to bring one of my friends or a couple of my friends from the entertainment business, sit down, we chop it up, see what we got going on, talk about our journeys and our adventures in the movie business. And this episode is like no other. This episode right here is dedicated to a brand new short film coming out called Scar. And right now we got a couple of the filmmakers and the creators of Scar in the building right now. So I want y'all to make it live, make it loud for my good friends. We got Brandon Larson coming all the way out from originally from Chico, California, all the way down out here in Sacramento. And we got Denise, Dania, Dania Denise for Fairfield, California. Thank y'all for coming out here, tuning into the Yeah Buddy podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
worries. Cool. So we brought y'all down stuff like that to talk about, like I said, your short film, Scar, stuff like that. Do you want to just get into it, talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's set in the gold rush. It's about two prospectors. They find a discovery, which is right on this table here, and they're torn apart by greed, betrayal, and the love of a woman, which is Dania.
Classic story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a classic Western. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Not a spaghetti Western, though.
No, this is gritty. It's really grounded in reality. We really strove for authenticity.
What's a forgive me, but what's a spaghetti western?
It's like over the top, so it's campy. It's not real whatsoever. I'm trying to think of something like a Roy Rogers, or it just doesn't feel real. Like the Clint Eastwood, I would say, was the first one that kind of made it feel more real.
Okay, I get
Those
what you're
Clint
saying. Yeah.
Eastwood
Yeah.
movies are not spaghetti Western,
Right,
but
Authentic to the culture of what the westerns are and stuff like that.
exactly.
Not a caricature, and
Mhm.
it's more just really like you got dropped into a time machine and you went, oh, this was what it's like. We really tried to capture that.
Okay, so what made you choose like a western of all things? And I mean, I know we got the gold nugget, the official mascot of Scar. Can you tell me what made you choose Western times, and of course, like
Right.
how the gold nugget plays into it?
Yeah, I can, because I'm from Northern California, so I'm proud of it.
Mm.
And if you go back to our history, the gold rush was huge, right? You had everybody migrate out here to the West for a better life, to find rich, to get rich. And I just feel like that's a story that people can still relate to, that idea of gold, and people are still gold panning. So I actually met people that gold panned, prospected, and the story's set in Dutch Flat, which is a historical location. So I had all of that in mind, and I did a lot of research when I was writing the film.
Mm. Now, was this your the first film that you produced?
Yeah, first time I ever produced a film. Yeah.
So, what was the process like for you, like diving in? Because like we've known each other for a while, stuff like that.
Right.
Going back to like when I was doing my mixers and stuff like that. Like, so you from Chico, I'm from Yuba City. We like we neighbors and stuff like that. So for me, we both know it's like, and you too. It's like we gotta go out there to get work. Go find the work. Go find the work. What was it like for you to finally like say in your head, like, you know what? I'm gonna just do the work on my own. I'm gonna just go make my own movie.
Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, it's about opportunities, right? Because we may not always get those big roles. So I'm of the opinion, let me write it and let me get my friends involved. Let me get the people that I want to work with, like yourself, Dania, Justin, everybody who is involved, and I can write those parts. So if there's like a certain role somebody wants to play, I can come up with a story instead of waiting around. Because let's say you did 100 auditions and your goal was to do 100 auditions in a year, you might not get a single part.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would much prefer to keep it local here in Sacramento and get people involved.
Mm. I'm assuming that's how you got Dania involved with the project.
Yeah, I met Dania at a Tasha B film mixer here in Sacramento. and she was one of the panelists, and just all of her answers really drew me in, and I was like, this is somebody who I really want to work with. So I made it my goal. I was like, I want to work with Dania. How can I achieve that? Well, I've got to produce it, right?
Mm.
I've got to write it. I've got to reach out to her, see if she's interested, because she might say no, but that's the worst thing that she could say. So
Yeah, and Brandon taking that initiative to approach me, it is a people person industry, and you
Yeah.
don't know how to be on somebody's radar until you open your mouth and say something.
Mhm.
So, we had a good conversation, and we started following each other on social, and, engaging with each other's posts and stuff, keeping tabs on what we were doing. And so there was no pressure. It wasn't, there's some people who network and they're really, really aggressive about it.
Mm.
But I think you just kind of let things breathe, and, the timing is everything for projects, especially. So when he reached out, I really didn't question it. I was like, send me the script, because for me, that's the first thing I ask. Just send me the script. Like, you can build it all up. I need to see the script, because then I can really see, the ground zero of what there is to work with.
Yeah.
And if I'm drawn into the story, if I like the writing, if I can visualize it, then I'm pretty much sold. And even though this is technically his first project, you wouldn't know it based on the results.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean,
Yeah.
it just you and Justin, between the two of you, really knocked it out of the park. Because usually I wear the producer hat too, where I'm just doing everything. So when I see other people do it well, I'm always like, oh, that's refreshing, because a lot of people want to produce, or they're forced to produce. They're not actually that good at it. And you guys really excelled. So I was very impressed.
And I really needed someone multi-talented like yourself, somebody that can direct, edit, you do it all. And so, and your acting is incredible
Thank
too.
you.
So that's where it's like, if I can get the chance to work with Dania, that would be a dream for me. And so I was like, she came to my mind. I was like, who could direct this? And you were one of the first people that came across my mind.
I was glad for that.
So
And so you have experience like producing
you.
films before like that.
Yeah. I started my production company, Runaway Mill Productions LLC, back in 2021. So I've been doing everything from spec commercials to short films, screenplays, and the same thing Brandon was talking about. I knew I had a built-in network of people I'd been working with from being in front of the camera for so many years, that when I announced that I was doing my own production company, I had my colleagues coming out of the woodwork, and they're like, let's go. Like, what are we working on? They weren't even worried about pay. They just wanted to do good work, and they wanted to work with good people. So we share that same mindset and work ethic. So I love directing. I love producing. I help with casting. I also act in front of the camera, but that's never a must for me. I'm not one of those selfish creatives that's like, I'm going to write it and I'm going to be in front of the camera. And I love editing. So when people ask me which one would I pick, I refuse, because I really know the lanes that I'm comfortable in. And sometimes you just have to do it yourself to get it right. So it worked out in this case.
So I kind of want to ask like a similar question, like with Brandon. Then, like, what was your experience like being an actress, especially up here in the Bay Area and stuff like that? I mean, we say it's diverse, but I mean, it's still a struggle, to go out there and find work. So what was your journey like being an actress that then led you to say, okay, let me start up my own production company, especially in 2021, because that's pandemic and quarantine and stuff like that.
It took a pandemic for me to do this full time. Don't ask me how it worked out that way. The universe is wild, but I was fortunate that I got in early. I started acting when I was 15. So I got into the industry way before social media and the internet was even a thing. I had black and white headshots. Like, it's that long ago. So I was fortunate enough to learn the ropes and really grow within the industry and do commercials, do short films, do some feature stuff, nothing really big, but actually being on sets and being so comfortable around productions. And it was my second home, and it still is. So by the time that the pandemic hit, we're gonna get our
yeah, we got a surprise guest coming through and stuff like that, all the way from, I think he just came out from San Francisco, was working on
that guy's busy.
a movie and a whole bunch of the Papa Roach thing.
What's he not working on?
Yeah, I was all like, man, like when he like this dude, like he would come to like my business mixers, and then like he would even just like come out to like when I was doing like my comedy shows, would just come pop up at my comedy shows just to come and support. I'm like, bro, like I think I appreciate it, man. And then like just seeing him like just popping his head out and stuff all like that, to now like being out there and stuff all over, like, this is freaking dope.
Somebody
Oh, okay, no worries.
False
Yeah,
alarm. I
well,
am
we
heartbroken.
we was hyping everybody up, but don't worry.
We
I
got
feel
his
like
intro taken care of.
yeah, we got his intro taken up. I feel like we it's like with like you like there's like a surprise birthday party and then like it's the
Yeah.
wrong person that walks in and you
Oh,
waste a
yeah.
surprise. I feel like we just wasted his intro on whoever that
You know
was.
what? We're gonna keep it moving
We're
because just
gonna-
like on
yeah.
production, when Murphy's Law hits, you keep
Yeah,
it, you
yeah.
keep pushing.
Take two.
Right.
Take two.
Use take two.
Yeah.
But no, I was just saying that I was fortunate enough to be experienced enough already seeing how productions worked. And so when the pandemic hit and we were all just stuck in the house, I told myself, okay, well, I've got the gift of time. I need to start writing. And I have all these ideas. And prior to the pandemic, I started doing indie film with some filmmaker friends, shooting on the iPhone, having those experiences, those takeaways, making those mistakes, but also telling pretty cool stories. And I loved it, but I was frustrated with, the lack of work ethic, the lack of discipline, people who are clearly there to just do it as a hobby for fun. I was there to make it my life. And so in my head, I thought to myself, if I had my own production company, this is how I would run it. This is the type of environment I would want to foster. These are the type of people I want to work with. So I took those takeaways and that basically became the foundation of Runaway Mill Productions. And I was nervous because I didn't go into this industry expecting to direct or be a director. It's like, oh, I'm going to be an actor and it's going to be fun. And then I did a little bit of directing with the previous group that I was creating with. And I realized I was like, oh, I actually kind of know what I'm doing. So once I found that confidence to know that I was in the right lane and I didn't have imposter syndrome, I was just off to the races at that point. I knew how to put together a good team, how to execute a good story, how to bring it to fruition and not have it take a million years and no one sees the footage. Because that's the thing we always do. We're still chasing footage to this day. There's stuff we've forgotten we've done as actors.
Yeah.
And I just told myself, I refuse. Granted, there might be an exception to the rule, like diabolical stuff that is just out of my control. But I'm proud to say that every actor I've worked with, every team I've worked with, they have seen the final results. And that's really, really important to me.
Yeah. Do you think that was kind of what's changed, like when you was producing stuff? I mean, when you were acting, then as far as like with producing, because like as actors, sometimes like we don't really want to like market our own product or whatever. I mean, of course, it will show like when we like, oh, look at me, I did this, but like the whole like market aspect and make sure it gets done and stuff like that. You kind of like, I did it type of thing. But then like when you switch to like being a producer, you're kind of like, no, this has to get out. We're getting this out. We're pushing this out. Were you more like conscious about about putting your content out rather than being kind of like reserved with, maybe I'll show somebody this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the pandemic taught me that because I took my time building my company and building the brand and collecting the BTS and documenting everything because I didn't want to have a website where you go to it and it's like coming soon, check back later.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, I want there to be content, even though I was just starting. So I didn't actually launch anything until April of 2021, but I spent the year before that just collecting content and doing BTS and just building things that would allow people to get a better idea of who I was if they'd never met me. Because your work speaks for itself. People can look really good on paper and then you get in front of them and you're like, what the hell just happened? Who are you? And so I wanted people to feel like they knew me, but that they also knew what my expectations were because I do have high standards because filmmaking can be really, really great with the stuff you put out or really, really corny. And I don't want people to watch my work because they want to laugh at how bad it is.
Yeah.
Right. So I really knew the importance of putting content out, getting on the socials, getting comfortable with that medium, understanding the best way to, I would do featurettes and teasers because yes, the final product's great, but people also are really intrigued by what it took to get that certain shot or, oh, I couldn't tell it was shot on an iPhone. And, so I love that kind of stuff. So I really dedicated a portion of my filmmaking and creative career to kind of cultivating the content that gets people to see how serious you are about your craft.
Okay, yeah. So you're more about the quality of the
1000%.
content as opposed to just let me just push this out, push this out, push this out, push it out.
Oh yeah, because anybody can push out garbage.
Yeah.
How many things have we seen that got fully funded or not or whatever, and you just went really?
Isn't that the biggest head scratch in the world? Like, who do you know? Like,
I can't.
Like I don't know if that's like the artist thing or like focus so much on like the production value of it as opposed to like there's just somebody down the street like, man, I just need $10,000.
Because you can have all the money in the world and it still not be good too.
It still not be good.
How many Hollywood movies do we see that spend millions of dollars that exactly? And so Getting back to Scar, I did a good 2 years of networking. In that span, I found a really talented DP who was our DP, Joey Catches,
Mm.
and he's here locally. And we
Legend.
used, yeah, and we used an ARRI Alexa 35 with anamorphic lenses. So this is really high quality filmmaking. This is a type of camera that you would see being used at Sundance. I researched it, and I had read somewhere along the lines of 60% of the films at Sundance Film Festival use this type of camera that we use. So it's high quality. And like Dania was saying, you know, I'm the type of person too. I want to make the best quality, even if we have to take a little longer to make it the best quality.
Mm.
I'd rather have that than push something out that might not be the best that we can make it.
Yeah. So what was the collaboration process like between you two? So like I said, so you send Dania.
Yeah.
All right,
You got
all right,
You
cool.
got
All right,
it.
you
Yeah.
said Dania. You see how close it was.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So you said Dania the script, and then so you like automatically you're like, yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I told him I really enjoyed the story, and because I also write, it's one of those things where if it's something that I would have written,
Mm.
that's also like a double like huge thing for me. So we got on a Zoom, me, Brandon, and Justin, and I'd
Mm.
never met Justin before,
Mm.
so he was new to me, and we just started talking about our expectations and talking about the story, and I was asking them questions to kind of fill in the world for me, because when you're telling somebody else's story as a director, you want to do your best to make sure that you're executing their vision
Mm.
while still putting your touch on it. But you know, ultimately I wanted them to be happy with the work that I was doing.
Yeah.
And so we really had a mutual respect that was, it just, all of our conversations were so natural. There was no ego, there was no like name dropping, the usual things that just to me turn me off when I talk to certain creatives. We didn't lead with any of that. It's just like, hey, we've got a cool story, we want you to be part of the team, what can we do to make this happen? So it all just was organic.
And that's what makes the dream work is
Mhm.
teamwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because without a team, it's not about one individual. You have to check your ego at the door.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing is being able to collaborate with everybody and finding the right people to do the job and do it well. And that's the job of a producer. Is what I had to do was assemble that team and find all the best pieces to make this film happen, because I can't do it alone. Dania can't do it alone.
Okay.
Mm.
Doesn't work.
No, yeah.
And you can do your podcast.
No
by
way.
yourself.
Like
No guess.
if you had been, yeah, no guess. Like no, if you had been here, like when I was first doing this podcast, maybe like because I've been at this space for like maybe like 2.5 years and stuff. Well, I first like trust me, like this whole thing right now is operated by AI. But if this was like 2.5 years, no, this room was full. Like we had a whole crew and all that type of stuff. So like no, trust
Oh
me,
wow.
it was a team effort and stuff like that. So don't trust me, I understand what you're talking about. Like you can't do it all, but I mean until I could hire new people or whatever. AI is my AI is my PA.
There you go.
But so now speaking of like doing a whole bunch of stuff, you did tackle a lot of the stuff, of course, because you had the experience,
Mhm.
but like with the directing, the editing, and acting in it.
Yeah.
How comfortable is it? Because is that kind of like a comfortable say like I'm gonna take over majority of the bulk of the work for like somebody else's like project, And I always say like
Yeah.
you know what I mean though.
So
Like because sometimes I feel like because I produce stuff too, and I
Yeah.
feel like I could definitely like overstep my boundaries sometimes and be all like,
Yes.
no, let's do all this and we got to do all this. I'm like, oh my bad, no, we're not ready for that.
Yeah, it actually kind of worked out, because when Brandon first approached me, I honestly, you were vague, and I don't know if it was on purpose, because I wasn't sure exactly what hat they wanted me to wear for the project, and I didn't want to assume. I didn't want to go to like, yeah, I want to direct, because he might have already had a director. I didn't know, so I kind of played it cool. And then when we got in the first Zoom, I was trying to suss it out, like, hey,
Right.
so what are you thinking?
Yeah.
And so when they said, oh, directing, I was like, yes. And then they said, and in the editing, I was like, yes. And so those two alone, I was happy with. And then they invited me to audition for Kate, so it was not handed to me. It wasn't one of those things where
That's
like,
what's
oh,
up,
you can
though.
just. And I will always say that, because people assume,
Yeah.
right? no, I'm not one of those directors that's like, yeah, and I can act, so I'm gonna be in it too. No, they invited me to audition. That wasn't even on my radar. I asked them about the Kate role and had she been cast yet, and they were in the middle of the casting process actually. And they, said, oh, if you can get your tape in by this time, we'll take it into consideration. And I let them know. I said, if it's not me, it's okay.
Yeah.
I would much rather have whoever brings this character to life properly. That's what's important to me. And it worked out that it was me.
But
and so since I had already known the story and just kind of already shown them my spin on Kate, and they didn't really have too much to really, give me feedback on. So I was already in the ballpark, which made things a lot easier. So I knew I had their blessing to take on as much as I did. And I was very cautious about not trying to overstep, but with this particular project, we had a very tight, small crew, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so we needed, like Brandon said, we needed those multitaskers. They needed me to do the heavy lifting, and I wouldn't have taken it on if I couldn't have.
Yeah.
So I felt really confident going in that whatever lane I wanted to get in, I had their blessing. And if there was any hesitation or reservation, I felt confident that they would talk to me about it, because that's what mature grown-ups do.
Exactly.
You talk through things. If something's not jiving, if something's not meshing, you talk it out.
Yeah. Dope. And then so with so Brandon, like similar situation, what was it like with you going into your first production, having somebody with so much experience to where you could like lean on to them and just be all like, just have your mind completely at ease and just be like, oh, you know what, my first project is getting done. Because that's the hard thing, man. People don't understand. Like, film it and like put it together, but like once you get to that post production process and all that shit, you be like, God damn, I feel like I don't even want to do this no more. I'm like, again.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and it was a learn as you go for me, and I trusted in the team. First of all, I trusted in Dania. I knew her capabilities. You also do a lot of research on people before you consider them, and also recommendations from other people help. Just like when you're applying for a job, right? Why do they ask for those? Because like if you're not if you've got a bad reputation, it's going to catch up with you sooner or later.
Especially
here
in this business, in this city, in this town. Oh my goodness.
Quick.
Yeah.
Because what I was looking for, I took into consideration everybody's personalities too, and will we all mesh? So I kind of have an instinct with that. I know it's kind of weird, but I don't know how to describe it. But it's just like I feel like this person could work with this person. Just understanding. I think you know what it is. I think it's because I'm an actor.
Yeah, we spend so much time like
Because
breaking down characters, breaking down people, acting in front, being in front of people. We're like, you know what? And it's weird. And that's the thing too. Like we had that actor's intuition that just kicks in just in real life. Where like you get that energy, you get that vibe from somebody. Like, oh, I can kick it with this person, or I gotta stay away from that person. And everybody else will look at you like you kind of weird. Like, why don't you? I'm like, no, trust me, it's my intuition. I'm a method actor. I know this.
Yeah. I hope I answered your question.
No, no, you did. Yeah, no, it's perfect, man. It's perfect. And then so working with this small crew, we're gonna show the trailer in a little bit. I'm trying to wait for Justin to get here so he could put his little input on too before we show people the trailer and stuff like that. But how long did it take to film this, and then how small of a crew was it?
It was 2 days.
Okay.
So it was like 12 hours each day. Had some breaks in between, a few hours for daylight and things like that. But it was, the first day was a beast.
Yes.
Honestly, in hindsight, had we kind of known, I would have done all the hotel stuff day one, and I would have done the last scene. I also don't want to spoil it for some people.
Right.
So the last scene, I would have done that at the top of day 2.
Okay.
Because we had all the outdoor stuff that day anyway, but we crammed it all in on day 1. So by the end of day 1, we were delirious.
I'm just so glad that you gave us a later call time, just that extra hour.
I looked at everybody just kind of starting to drop like flies.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, we were gassed, but we pushed through. Everybody knew if we get through this, tomorrow is going to be so much easier.
Yeah.
And we got through it, and I just went, we're pushing call time. Y'all sleeping because we're not doing that. Like,
yeah.
it was wild.
Mhm.
But all the locations were within minutes of each other, so
Okay.
it wasn't like a lot of company moves from place to place. So it was very logistically smart the way that Brandon and Justin put things together.
Yeah, and that's another thing we had to do was location scout.
Mhm.
Okay, and we had to get permission from people, so this wasn't just roll up and start filming and
Yeah.
doing the guerrilla type filmmaking, right?
Mhm.
Which I fully support that
Yeah.
if that's what you got to do.
you got
But
you got to be careful about
but
what type
for
of film you
me,
make with that, though.
but
Yeah.
for me, I didn't want to go that route.
Yeah.
This being my first production,
Mm.
I didn't want to risk getting shut down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wanted to ensure that I did everything correctly, that I followed the rules so that we don't have to worry about that. There's so much more to worry about when you make a film. If you take on a short film, it is so much work.
Yeah.
And you do have to wear multiple hats
Mm.
because as much as I love just to be an actor, I think where I see my future is producing, writing, and acting and doing all that and potentially directing down the road.
Mhm.
But I want to learn more before I do that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And as far as the crew, it was, aside from us, there was 3 talent. There was obviously our DP, Joey. We had our sound op, Riley. We had our first AC, Edward. And then we
Yeah.
had our PA, Roz. Wardrobe, Chantel.
Yep.
We had
Key grip was Edwin.
And we had script soup, Michelle.
Yep.
I think that was it. No, and then we had Max, who was
Yes,
like
Max.
PA as well, right? Or,
Correct. And
yeah.
did you say Rosalind too?
Yeah, Roz.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was enough of a skeleton crew, but every single person could easily do 2 to 3 things.
Yeah.
Individually, and everyone stepped up when they needed to. So it worked.
It was funny. We had me and Brandon was talking earlier about like the whole process that we call like independent filmmaking, but I was like, it's actually should be like the opposite. It's really like codependent. Like we like when you're really like you know what I mean? Like y'all are like in it together. Like I'm saying like
God,
like you know what I mean? Just because you gotta like I'm serious. Like the last thing you want to do is like do it and be by yourself with this thing because like the whole or at least like if I'm wearing somebody hats, at least let me be with somebody that understands the pressure of like and the responsibility that I'm taking on to be like, all right, let me just with Dania got it to be I said it right? Dania. All right, I got it right the second time. With D. I'm gonna say D. I saw that. I saw the Socktown movie buff thing, so I'm gonna go with D because I told myself if I mess it up 3 times, I'm gonna just go with D. All right, for sure. Show. So like say like with D, like she got directing, editing, acting, and all this that managing these crew and all this stuff. It's all like thank goodness I got somebody like Brandon that at least got the logistics right to be all like we're within like close to each other, and all this type of stuff. And
100%.
Well, to be like saying y'all out there in the trenches together because I saw the trailer, and there was stuff that was shot outside. Like y'all was outside, and like
very much so.
People don't understand. Like when you watch a movie, like okay, you're inside a house watching people outside, but like when, you know what I'm saying. But like when you're filming the movie, like everybody's outside, and it could be like when you're the person with the camera. Like no, I'm holding this camera, and I'm breaking this one, I'm holding the sound and all this stuff. It is a lot. So like I said, kudos to having a team that was like committed to it. Y'all was all in there. So I said because it's codependent. Like we are in it together. We are a family now. We are one.
Yeah, people don't understand that if you aren't in this industry, if you're not on sets or at least not on sets enough, the camaraderie, how comfortable we all are with each other. Granted, stereotypes aside, it is a family, and you get so familiar because you're with these people for 12, 14 longer hours a day sometimes, and for several days at a time, and you're in this same creative space, and you're all having this collective vision that you're trying to execute. And that's, like you said, it's in the trenches. And when you finish that project, that sense of pride that you have, and the memories and the inside jokes and just all the experiences that no one else will understand, that's special. And that's just a world that it's really hard for people to appreciate if they're not in the game.
Yeah. Because when you say like 12-hour days, I'm like, all right, that's not bad. But then, like, if you was to explain that to anybody else, they'd be like 12 hours. I'm like,
Why?
God.
What are
Yeah,
you doing?
yeah,
And people really don't understand what it takes to get even a few minutes of footage.
yeah,
And you're like, yeah, no, we needed 5 hours for maybe 2 minutes of footage, and it blows people's minds when
yeah.
you put it in that
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah, or just the whole time. Like if you're like, oh, we got to get the sunset right, or you know, say like you be
Mhm.
prepared all day for that 30 minutes. You be all like, and once it finally hits, you know, say it'd be chill. You be relaxed about, all right, everything's all set up here. All right, cool, cool, cool. Just chilling throughout the day. But then once it gets started, all right, y'all go, go, go,
Go
go, time. Let's
time.
go. Everybody's all hands on deck, and it's just like, yeah, people don't understand. Like from and it don't even matter if it's a big feature film or just like it said, even a short film and stuff like that. Because even like some of our short film is our big film. You know,
It is.
it's gonna we're gonna take it to wherever it will get us to take it to the our next level with our career and stuff like that. So, what are your goals with Scar?
I would say we really want to get it out there
Mm,
and submit to festivals, because if you're going to make a really quality film, you need an audience. Because why else are you making it?
mm,
Because we got to share it. Once you create it, you need to share it with
Yeah.
everybody. And so I would say our goal is to get it seen here in California specifically, focus on our market here. And in order to do that, each festival that you submit to costs an entry fee, and that doesn't guarantee you that you're selected. So we are still raising funds um, to be able to submit to more festivals. So that's really, I would say, our goal. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
say, Dania?
I think so. There's nothing more rewarding than getting into a festival, and one that you can actually travel to with your team and give everyone that experience to see it on a big screen along with the audience. It's really rewarding and satisfying. And I think that this particular film is so unique because you don't see a lot of westerns, and you don't see a lot of them done to this degree with the production quality. So it'd be really really cool to get on the radars of the directors of these film festivals, and who knows who's in the audience that's going, oh wow, you guys did that, that's pretty amazing, let's talk. It's about the follow-up and the networking and the meetings, and just again putting yourself on other people's radars and showing them what you can do.
So I'm gonna show everybody right now the poster for Scar. We have the poster for
Whoop,
Scar
whoop.
right up here. Show me what went into this.
Canva.
All right, I'm at
Nice.
it. Canva Pro. Canva Pro is what's up.
I
Yeah.
am a huge Canva fan. I'm
Mm.
a graphic designer in general when it comes to Photoshop and things like that. But I was looking for something that reflected the tone of the film. I didn't want to just do some random image or a generic image. And originally, I had done about 3 mock-ups or so. One had like an all black background and had a few different, screenshots of us from the film. There was one where it was just a still with just Brandon and Justin's characters, and they instantly were like, "No, we need you in the poster." I wasn't
Yeah.
pushing to be on the poster. They're like, "No, we need the 3 of us." And I was like,
Definitely.
"Oh, love you guys." And so I did some mock-ups. I sent it to them. We kind of had a conversation about what we liked about which version, and ultimately we felt like that one looked the coolest. It felt the most true to the tone and just the shots themselves. It really just shows kind of a glimpse into what each character is about.
Yeah, it definitely has a very gritty feel to it. The way it kind of, I don't know if there's some sort of love triangle going on or something like that, but just the way it's laid, like with you in
Can't say
between it,
anything
I ain't
yet.
gonna say nothing like that, you know. But that's just where my mind went to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we had touched on this subject or not, but why did you call it Scar?
Mm.
That's a great question. So I was really debating the title and talking to a lot of people about it. I originally was going to call it Gold Scar, but I felt that it would be better suited to just have Scar, like Scar of the Earth. And Scar can mean so many things. So it's a metaphor. What greed can leave you with, to like the betrayal, all of that. What can it leave you with? I think a scar,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I I put a lot of thought into it, because if you can sum up the film in one word, because you really need a title that is going to be memorable, right?
Yeah.
And I feel people can remember that.
Mm. No, yeah, I definitely remember it. And I was gonna say, I just popped into my head, like with you submitting to film festival. Have you heard of the Wild West Film Festival?
I have. I don't have experience submitting to it, but yes,
You should.
definitely have heard of it.
Okay.
You know I'm on the committee for it.
Well, it's all about who you know.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah. So I mean, we got that coming up in October and stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay.
feel
Timing
yeah.
is everything.
Is
Yes.
that when the submissions due?
I'm not sure what the submissions are due.
Okay,
I
I'll
would
look it
double
up.
check. I'm on the comedy side of things, so I just book the comedians and stuff like that to perform and stuff like that. But I don't
We'll
watch
hit
the
the
movies.
film freeway. We've made a
Hit-
short
hit-
list.
hit the film
you know,
freeway, hit
and
the film
I'll do
freeway.
a search for it because
Yeah.
I have heard of it. So
Yeah, we got some things coming. I'll tell y'all off camera and stuff like that. 'Cause I
Okay.
can't say
Fantastic.
right now, but y'all talk to y'all off camera and stuff like that. But yeah, look forward to that. And then speaking of which, I do have the here's the QR code for the GoFundMe for Scar. So anybody watching this right now on Facebook or wherever we're streaming this from, YouTube, Twitch, this is the QR code. You can go ahead and scan that right now. That will take you to the Scar GoFundMe page, so you could support their short film. You know, get it out there to these film festivals and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll leave that up there. I'll leave the smaller one up there so people could I'll leave that throughout the thing. So if people want to, they could go ahead and scan that QR code and go ahead and please go out there and support the film Scar. We're going to show the trailer up here in a little bit, but until then and stuff like that. So like I said, film festivals. What were we talking about?
pretty much the film festival.
Festival. Oh yeah. So did you said you had something in mind that you were aiming for?
In terms of festivals?
Yeah, as far as festivals.
Looking at Sacktown Movie Buffs would be one that comes right away. We want to have it here in Sacramento as well as the Bay Area, you know, and we'll also tackle LA, I think would be good.
For sure. Yeah. And I think what's also cool about being local is it gives our friends and family and colleagues
Exactly.
a chance to attend as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's great to share it online and people, you know, if they're far away, that helps them. But there's nothing like that homegrown community where everybody can just go and celebrate a production that you've done and see it on the big screen. So I think it's a great opportunity for everyone who supports us up here as well as in Southern California to, you know, come out and just have a good time.
Mm. And so, outside of, like I said, if you do get accepted, well, when you do get accepted to these festivals, do you, is it your goal and intention to attend them, or do you just want to say just to get the recognition?
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
no.
I'm going
Gotta
to
be
all of
there.
them.
Yeah.
I'm going to every single one.
You gotta
I will be
go.
there.
Yeah,
There's nothing
Okay.
like it in
Yes.
person.
yeah.
no.
Especially seeing
I'm
it.
going to be there.
Yeah, especially see your
I'll
work.
see you
You're
there.
seeing your work in yeah, and like for me, because the short film I did, it was a couple years ago, produced and directed and stuff like that. We finally had the premiere for it. It's called Almost There. We finally had the premiere for it down in LA, and like I said, that was the very first time that, well, I had seen it a bunch of times, but like I said,
Sure.
seeing like the cast and stuff like that, that was their first time seeing. So I didn't even really watch the movie. I spent the whole time
You were
watching
watching them.
watching their reaction and stuff like that, and just being all like, huh, you know, like
Yeah.
because that was my first time like with my producer hat on,
Mhm.
you know, kind of like I don't want to sound cocky or ignorant, but just say, oh man, I helped make these people's dream come true. But you know what I mean? You like,
Yeah.
like I'm like, oh yeah, I did that shit. You
It's
know what I'm saying?
rewarding.
It's very rewarding. It's very rewarding seeing other people happy. It's that like I don't know what my friend called. He's called like selflessness or something like that. But just like you know, doing something good for other, like just feeling good about doing good for other people. You know, you gotta
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take care of your team even
Mm.
after the film is done. It
Yeah.
doesn't just stop.
It don't
because
stop. Yeah.
You're done filming.
Mm,
Yeah.
That goes back to the codependency part. You know, that's
See?
yeah.
Guilty.
We are in it together. Yeah, we
In it to win it.
we are in it to win it. And then so you know what? Do you know how far Justin is going to be out till?
Yeah, I just texted him. He at the time he said he was 40 minutes out, so I just told him let me know when you get here.
Okay, cool.
Let it
So-
ride.
All right, cool. We go let okay. Well, so we'll get back to talking about Scar because I want Justin to be here to at least have some input so he can say
Yeah.
something and stuff like that. So we talk about we'll switch up and talk about like other projects that we have been on and stuff like that. That way kind of like tied into how we was able to take our experiences and put it into Scar and stuff like that. I know Brandon was talking about he had did a commercial like a while ago. Did he show you the Craig Robinson
He
commercial?
did.
Yeah,
thank
It
you.
was so
yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a joy for
Mhm.
me to be able to work with a guy like Craig Robinson. He taught me so much. He knew the entire script, so he knew my lines, he knew his lines, and that's what you need to do.
Mhm.
And so, being able to get the chance to be with top-notch guy like that, it's going to level you up, right?
Mm.
To be with the best. And I
Yeah.
consider him one of the best.
Yeah.
And we did that here in Sacramento. I should
Mm.
mention that.
Which is even cooler.
Yeah. So what did you take away from that experience? Just like seeing somebody who say like does it professionally, like on these movies and TV shows, seeing it like up close and personal, like, oh, that's how it's done.
I got to tell you, I was a little nervous at first because when you show up to set, you don't know. So I had no idea that I was going to be acting with him.
Oh, really?
So I had no clue. And the director came up to me and said, by the way, you're going to do a full one-on-one scene with him.
Wow.
And so I waited. This was a long day. I waited 8 hours just to get to my part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
So in that 8 hours, what do you think I was doing?
Stop going over your lines.
Exactly. And his lines too.
Yeah.
But it was in the hot of the summer, so it was 102 degrees when we filmed it, and we did it in the semi truck. So we had to shut it off for the camera.
Yeah.
So it was super hot.
No AC, no sound. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Ooh, we know that.
So it taught me a lot about environment too. Every time they slammed the semi truck door, the lighting equipment fell. So I had to adjust it on the fly, and they said action.
Oh my God.
So this happened, and I'm doing this with Craig Robinson, and you got to deliver.
Yeah.
I did not delay, and I just, hit my marks. So that's what it
awesome.
taught me. You have to
Love
be
that.
prepared for anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Lindy, what kind of what sets have you worked on? Because I'm not really,
Yeah.
I know him, but yeah. This is our first time meeting, so yeah.
I've definitely been doing a lot of commercials and industrials up here because that's a lot of what we have up here, and that's been great. Adobe, Google, some of the bigger names, and it's been really really chill when it comes to the indie side of things, like the short films and stuff like that. My agent's not necessarily pushing for those things because the market's different. So it's nice because she's like, yeah, have fun, do your thing, build up the material, build up the reel. And so I had that great flexibility where she was holding me down in the commercial aspect. And I was also able to kind of go after roles and things that kind of spoke to the narrative side of my personality. Because a lot of actors poo-poo commercial work. And I don't get that, first of all, because one, it's easy money.
Yeah.
Two, it's a quick character study. Three, it gets you on sets regardless. I want to be on set.
Yeah.
And casting directors cast for commercials, film, all kinds of stuff. So they will remember you and you build that reputation. So those were the kinds of things I was able to work on. And I remember in college, I'm an alumni of San Francisco State.
Okay.
And Rent was shooting in San Francisco. And so I was an extra on that film, and it was the New Year's Eve scene, and they had shut down the entire street, and the director was on the huge jib crane.
Oh wow.
Because that's how they did it back then.
Yeah.
And he's just like soaring over us, and I was in the limo party, and we were all dressed up, and we had these like really funky retro outfits and hairstyles on, and so we were hanging outside the top of the limo. And so Rosario Dawson's character was, continually walking back and forth in front of us. And I didn't know a lot about her at the time, to the extent like she doesn't break character pretty much. And so we were like, Rosario, we love you. And she like blew us a kiss and like kept walking, and we were like, oh my God. But no lines from us or anything.
Yeah.
And eventually though, it was a 15-hour day.
Oh,
because
wow.
it was a nighttime shoot, but they started us, early in the afternoon to just sit around and wait. Then they put us in the limo. We got lucky. We were in the limo. This is San Francisco. It is cold.
Yeah.
And eventually, after the first couple of hours of doing the same thing, hanging out the window, we were like, you know what? We're just gonna be inside. We didn't care about it was so cold. We ended up on the editing room floor anyway.
Yeah.
But that was probably the biggest feature film that I'd had an experience with, even just as a background. At the time it was really exciting. And then I was in an episode of Monk when it shot in San Francisco. I was recognizable, but I just like walked in front of the camera.
Yeah, you were featured. You were featured. We'll give you that feature. We'll give you that feature credit.
Put that on the resume.
Yeah.
So like those little things, when those opportunities popped up in the Bay, it was always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was mostly industrials and commercials and things like that. And now I'm like, TV and film, baby, let's do this.
But it's always fun, like say, like when you like do Monk or whatever, like say,
Yeah.
like we do those type of TV shows or movies, and like even though you just walk in the background for like a second or
Mhm.
whatever, like going back and like showing people and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
like look, that's me right
Yeah.
there, that's me right there, you
You
know,
get
say
the
like,
experience.
mm,
Yeah, for
mm.
sure.
You got the experience, you get the bragging rights, and then you get, you know, you got sometimes you got those little things like that, you know. So even though you're like, all right, I'm just a background, but like
Yeah.
being a background on a TV show or a
Right.
movie, it's still that kind of like I would like I said, I was there, I was there, you
Absolutely.
know.
But you know what was interesting about not the Rent experience particularly, but the Monk and then a couple of other productions? I at the time associated the first AD as being like a horrible person because they would scream at everybody. They were so mean.
Yeah,
And I didn't understand. I was like, oh my gosh, is this what it takes to be a first AD? Like, is this what they do? They're just stressed out.
just yell at people. Yeah,
Until I got my own first AD, Isaiah, and he was super opposite.
mm,
He was chill. He was like a ninja. He would just materialize out of nowhere and ask me if I needed anything. And I was
Mm.
like, what do you mean? Why are you not screaming at me? And I realized, oh my gosh, you don't have to be those things.
you don't gotta.
You don't have to be
Yeah.
that angry.
Yeah. What a shocker! You don't have to be an asshole to make it in this business. You could actually be nice. You could be respectful. You could be humble. Oh
Ever
my
since
goodness!
then,
You never. It
I-
blows your mind.
To Brandon's point earlier, it's personality. If
Mm,
you can have all the accolades, you can have Emmys, Oscars. If you're a jerk, I don't want to work with you. I
mm.
don't
Yeah.
care about you name dropping. There's a way to have a conversation where we don't have to brag about what we've done.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I can't. Those types of personality, like you said, 10-foot radius.
yeah. It's like,
I'm honestly grateful for any opportunity that I get,
Mhm.
Mhm.
any type of opportunity, whether I did an extra as
Mhm.
well, in the Leo film that's coming out.
Mhm.
And
Oh, that's
so,
nice.
Yeah.
so that was my first major motion picture experience, and Justin was in that too.
Love it.
So for us to get that opportunity to be like, I got to see Leo in action.
Mhm.
So once I did my part, walking down a hallway, I got to actually watch him do his stuff. So
Mm.
I learned from just watching him and Paul Thomas Anderson, the director. So getting to see them at work and how they do it, I learned a great deal.
Mm.
And
Is
here
that the
he
man?
is.
Is that the man?
The man of the hour.
The man of the hour, Mr. Justin. Come on
He
in, bro.
made it.
Hey,
Come
you
on in.
made
Slide
it
on in. Pull up a
Welcome.
chair. Pull up a chair, my guy.
right here. And
Got
there's
you
a
the
mic
microphone.
for you.
Yep.
Yep, we got your microphone all lit and ready to go. You can hold it if you want to. You can
Thank
hold
you.
it from your hand. You all good.
Guess we'll do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Join the cool kids.
Yeah, you just have to scoot it a little bit closer to
Yep.
Brandon, but you're all good. For sure. Yeah, we got y'all. Yeah, we got a whole big ass family right now. We got the whole Scar
gang is
family.
here.
The whole gang is here. Let's type in with Justin. Where you been at, man? Where was you from? We was actually just talking about our adventures on different movie sets. So this is actually a perfect time for you to hop in and stuff. Everybody, this is Justin McDavitt. Y'all tune in. Boop,
Hi.
boop. Yeah. Another actor from Scar. We already did our. My bad. We wasted your good introduction on somebody that just walked in like randomly. We thought it was you.
Yeah,
We thought it was you. So we was doing this whole big
It's like nobody
grandiose like
here.
intro for like when you walk in and then the man's like, nope, wrong person. Like, oh shit.
It's kind of comedic, actually, in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. But you just came back from where is it? From San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what
Um,
I see people posting about it on social media, but if you don't want to, it's all good.
Oh, the one I was just at is probably pretty known.
Yeah.
I think. So I think the title was Artificial.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was like I think 3 or 4 things going on in San Francisco like around the same time, and I've hit 3 of them so far.
Yeah.
So
Did you work on Steel Harp?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
and,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and then a short film out there too.
Okay, dope, man. So what was your experience like working on
Artificial.
Artificial? Yeah,
So today I got to sit on a park bench, and
Life
I
of an
got
extra.
to- yeah. And then I was kind of like, I've been doing a lot of traveling, so I'm trying to find my my moments to take my naps and things like that.
Mm.
Luckily, I had after I was on a park bench, I got a picnic blanket, and it was on like a sloped hill, so I just sat there and fell asleep for like 2-3 hours.
Oh,
nice. On the set?
As long as they're not watching.
No, it's all good. No, man, things happen, man. No, trust me.
I was performing my role. My guy was like sleepy.
Method acting. That's all good. Method
Yeah.
acting. That's all it
Of
is.
course.
That's all it is and stuff like that. That's funny. Cool. So now that Justin's here, we could bring it back to Scar. Now we could talk about so they was all giving their experience about working on Scar. What tell us about like who your character is and how you got on board with Scar. I know you and Brandon been homies since y'all day ones.
Yeah, my character, his name is Holt. He is a pretty general, kind of like an everyday man kind of role. He's got his mission. He goes out on the trail and he wants to find something that'll give him a path to achieve uh, more in life than he's previously been accustomed to. And as far as coming into the production, Brandon shared the initial script as his first draft was me back in February, and I was interested in the roles, the story, and the dynamic between the characters that were in the script. And so then me and Brandon just went back and forth on some ideas and things that we could do to change it, and then in some aspects to make it more simple due to budget constraints and locations and things like that.
Okay, nice. And then so with what was your experience like? You being on the set, like so we was just talking about like with them being like outside and all that type of stuff. Bro, you've been busy. You've been busy grinding stuff like that. So how are you like taking that experience like with all the work that you've been doing and then now being able to apply that to Scar?
So I
Or was it the opposite? Where did you do Scar? You was like, you know what, now, man, this is about to kick some fucking ass out here. So I'm about to really got to get out there and get my name out there. Oh, we could cuss too. I should have said that. I didn't know. I could have said that. We could. Yeah, yeah, we could cuss out this thing.
So I mean, no matter what the role is, I approach them the same. Like I give it my all. Like for example, when I'm talking about like sleeping on the picnic blanket, I was all in.
Yeah.
Like fully all
Oscar
in
worthy
that. Eyes closed.
Mm.
I don't know if I was snoring, but
If they didn't wake you up, you wasn't
yeah,
snoring.
right. Nobody said anything. So Holt was it was an interesting character. It was one that I got. The main difference I would say was I got to spend a little more time getting to be inside the character, building it out, living it, and then seeing the dynamic of something that I don't usually do is being behind the camera, being on the production side. So it's kind of mixing or kind of keeping those separated, but existing to do both roles.
Yeah. You said you don't like being.
Not that I don't like it, I just typically don't do it because I want to stay in one lane and drive forward in that one. But if the mission calls for it, I'll do what's necessary.
No. I completely. I just didn't hear. I just didn't hear. But no. I completely understand that. That's exactly how I am and stuff like that. I was all like until that calling came my way, I was strictly like, man, no, I'm a like. I remember. I felt ignorant about it now and stuff like that. But like short film, I did like way back in the day, and the director's like, man, there's so many great opportunities like being on a movie set if you just focus on like doing like the behind the scenes stuff, like you like be a grip or say they're even like just a simple thing for like being a prop master. And I was all like, hell no, I did not do nothing in Meisner training to to do the prop stuff. Like I want to be an actor, but like I was like, no, yeah, I was dead fast on like, no, I'm just strictly in front of the camera. But like I say, like switching over to like try to direct it, try to produce and stuff like that. Like I said, I am starting to like see myself lead more towards that way. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm no longer just an actor. I'm a filmmaker now. I'm a filmmaker. Yeah,
Crossed over.
I've crossed over. Yeah, I'm on the dark side now. And then, what are some things that you want people to know about, like, with this film Scar that you're proud to, say like this happened, why this happened?
Well, I think what I want people to know the most about the film is just to take away from the fact that this isn't like a Western, back in the day where you had these sharply distinct characters where the villain was black and evil and the hero was white and good. That everybody in these worlds are a little bit of gray, and that's who we are. We're not distinctly one flavor. We're a little mixture. And so when the question comes up, whatever the question is, you don't know what you're going to do until it happens. So maybe just approach it when you see somebody else reach that question with a little more empathy and an open mind.
Mm. So I said we have been waiting for a while, but I'm gonna show everybody the trailer right now. Like I said, we won't play here, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do my thing. But yeah, so everybody right now here, this is the trailer for Scar. So before we do show, do you want to tell anybody like what we can expect to see from the trailer?
Well, the hard thing about this is there's so much we couldn't show because it would give away so much. It's a short. So we tried to find a way to find little sneak previews of each character, give you a bit of a sense of who they are, and then how they kind of intersect. So we did that to the best of our ability without completely giving everything away.
Okay.
So the TLDR is what you'll see in the trailer. It's all in the movie too.
Okay. Okay. Cool. For sure. That's good to know. Marvel be doing shit like they be all like, look at 30%, like 50% of this trailer is not in the movie. I was like, where did this go? Like, is the trailer in the room with us? All right, so yeah, so we're gonna show everybody here the trailer for Scar right now in 3.
What'd you do if you got rich?
This woman looks familiar. How do you know her?
When gold becomes the color of greed, the odds of success grows more scarce by the day.
It's coming for us. I feel it in my bones.
All right, cool, dope. Yes, that was the trailer, y'all. That was the trailer for the new short film, Scar. That is going to be how far along are y'all the post production process for it?
We're about 95% done.
Yep.
Actually, we've got a quick ADR session coming up this Monday. Actually, I'll be putting these guys to work.
Okay.
And our musical score is coming along beautifully.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Who's doing the music for it?
Kevin Edelson.
Yeah.
And he is so talented, and we're just excited to have his magic kind of grace this, because we had talked heavily about the use of music and really building the world out for the audience, but we didn't want the music to take center stage. We didn't want it to dictate how people were going to feel about it, and we just wanted to like accent it. And Kevin understood the assignment. So far, the working relationship, the communication has been really stellar. He's like, what do you think about this? And then we kind of collaborate and compare notes, and we give it to him. He goes, okay, cool. There's no ego from him where he's like, well, I'm gonna die on this hill. I really want. He's just like, okay, let me go back to the kitchen and start cooking, and then he gives us the food, and it's delicious.
What's it like trying to keep up that momentum from because there's so much excitement going into like the pre-production, that like actual the shooting and stuff like that, to like the post-production process could be so like drawn out and stuff like that, to where so like what are things as like producers and then as an actor, what are some of the things that y'all do to like after the project is done, like try to keep up that momentum, go like okay, let's get this done, or like for the actor standpoint, just waiting for it to come out, but then all right, let me try to find other projects to do in between then.
So aside from the direct post-production, like editing, it's a lot of social media marketing, connecting with people, networking, reconnecting with the team after the wrap, and making sure that they're reaching out to their networks. They're still excited to promote the film, things like that.
Yeah.
Once the trailer dropped, it kind of reignited the crew, because when you're crew, you're on to the next thing. Not that the project wasn't special, but it's the grind.
Yeah.
And so for us, we continually see the footage. We continually are in the world, but for them, they're telling other stories. And so when the trailer dropped, they were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
they were so excited. So that was satisfying to go, okay, got a little bit here to wet the whistle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that was funny because like when I did short film like almost 30, I was like in front of the camera. I saw it maybe 100 times before anybody else seen it, you know what I'm saying? But like I was calling up the other producer, I'm like, yo, this is a really good ass movie. We gotta go out and celebrate this. Like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they kind of like, they do the whole moving on thing. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's a good ass movie. Every couple months, I'm like, no, this is good. It's gonna be good. And then finally, like when I showed it to them and stuff like that, like when they saw it like in like LA, they're like, hey, yo, we gotta go out and celebrate. I'm like, yeah, that's what I've been telling y'all.
Right.
Like, but like you say, you gotta little things like that, especially when you know you got a good project on your hand. You're like, it's not hard to keep up that momentum, but like I said, it could just be a long drawn out process. And that's where like things like life comes in like real life, situations. Now you no longer have this 12-hour, 12-hour days like set schedule. Like we're doing this. It's all like it kind of be all like 3 hours on a Monday, and then like okay, well my day off, I'll get the whole day off to do this, or in between laundry and all this other type of stuff. There's so many other different type of factors that now like life comes at you and stuff like that to kind of keep it going. So that's why I wanted to get your feedback about like what it's like to keep up the momentum for anybody that's watching. That's all like they know what that post production process is like what are like so things to keep them going.
It's all about momentum from the start to finish, because the thing is the goal is to make the film, right? And any delays in the production can stall. It can and so the goal is you got to get it done. Got to get it done, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
No excuses, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of person I am. Is like my goal is, if I was always raised like, if you're going to start something, finish it.
Yeah.
So that's for better, for worse.
Because like I said, this was just a short film. I don't want to say just a short film because no such thing as short. You know what I'm saying? But like say like the script. When did you write the script before actually like going into production?
Earlier this year, I started writing in January. Towards the end of January, got Justin the first draft in February, and 4 drafts later, I believe you saw the final draft.
Yeah.
And so that was over 50 hours of labor, to give you an idea of what that was like for me.
So that's why I just wanted to highlight, just to let people know and stuff like that. Like I said, it's a short film, but like bro, like how long is it gonna be? Like about like what, 15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Yeah, about 15 minutes. But like from January to like bro, this, like we about to be in August. You know what I mean? Like people like with like when I say like with people like you see like people may not understand what the process is like to like make a movie, or like what people actually go through to make a movie. But when somebody tells y'all making a movie, like sit back or either help or get back, man, get out the way. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
and for us that's a relatively quick turnaround time.
Yeah.
By comparison, like we know that.
Yeah.
For the regular person, like but there are some people who have the same type of project and it takes them
years or never at all.
We made ours in 2022. You know what I mean?
Oh wow!
That's part of the journey. Yeah. That's part of the journey. So yeah. So hats off and commend to y'all for even like I said getting this far to where like I said within the same calendar year.
Yeah.
You out here promoting, because this ain't the first podcast and all the things that y'all been doing. So y'all been out there making hustling stuff. And you don't really see that from too many. I mean, we can wrap up this episode in a little bit of stuff like that, but we're just jabbering right now. Yeah. But like, so anytime y'all want to get up, y'all can just get up and leave. I'll just
talk to myself. Do that to you, buddy. Come on.
Marathon episode. No, but like we can talk about this and then wrap it up and stuff. See, now I totally forgot what I was about to say. It'll come back to me in a little bit. Anyways, so we was talking about short films, the process of getting it done, the momentum. Yeah, you know what? We've been rambling for a minute. We could probably wrap up this episode and stuff like that. I lost my count and stuff like that. That's just
we really appreciate you having us on, buddy.
Yeah. And that's right. Thank you. Now
I reminded you.
My bad. Now y'all got to stay for another hour. Hour.
Darn.
Yeah. So you don't really see too many people out here. Like, I don't want to knock on anybody. Well, I haven't really seen like pushing a short, like y'all, like I said, like y'all are pushing a short film like it's a feature film, like going out here promoting it, doing these different podcasts, all these types of interviews and stuff, all like that. What even like from that standpoint, like put it in your head, like we're gonna like promote it, like really like promote this film.
I think it's kind of like the core to who we are. Like when we all approach something, we want to. Well, first off, we want to tell stories, right? And we want to tell quality stories, and we want to do it in a quality way. So when we achieve that, we wanted to get out to people. We want people to see it and be able to enjoy it, and ask those questions or come up with those thoughts or say, hey, that's interesting. Hey, maybe that inspires me to tell a story or to think about the past or anything.
Yeah, no one makes a movie so that people don't see it.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
So many projects get made and then forgotten, and all projects have a shelf life to a certain degree, but when you put as much time and heart as we do and our team does, you want to do it justice. You want to remind people that, hey, it's not even about like us. Our team did this. Let's get them more work. You know, when the work gets seen and people go, oh my gosh, who did the cinematography? Who did the music? We're more than happy to give those people names because I want to put my people to work. That's my number one goal as a filmmaker, honestly, is not just to tell stories, but I want to put these guys to work. So you can't do that if people don't actually know what you're doing. And this, you know, you treat it like it's like your child. You want it to shine and you want everyone to know how amazing, how special it is.
Yeah. Well, on that note, any closing notes? That was a good way to end it, like on a very, very, very positive, very uplifting type of thing. So I feel comfortable closing it right there.
I just wanted to thank you for having us on your podcast, buddy, and we really appreciate you. We think that you're doing excellent things here in Sacramento, and we want to lift you up. And anything that you ever need from us, please. So thank you for giving us this time.
No, I appreciate y'all sitting down on the podcast and stuff like that. This was dope. Like I said, I haven't done like a lot of the interviews I've been doing recently have all been virtual and stuff like that. So it was a good time for me to appreciate y'all like making the drive and the commitment to come out here and sit down and stuff like that. So rock with y'all. So like I say, anytime y'all got something coming up, even if y'all want to come back and promote Scar again, like know what film festival it is, you already know y'all more than welcome to sit down at the Yeah Buddy podcast. But let everybody know where they can find you at, how they can follow you, and you know, hear more about the Scar journey.
If you want to learn more about me, it's DANIA DENISE, Dania Denise. That's the same handle for Instagram, Facebook, DaniaDenise.com. For my production company, RunawayMillProductions.com. And you can also find me on IG at Runaway Mill Productions.
Best way to get in touch with me is through Instagram at Brando Larson, LARSON.
And then mine would be Instagram too. It's Justin_S_McDavitt. It's M as in Mike, C as in Charlie, D as in David, A as in Alpha, V as in Victor, I as in Ice Cream, T as in Tom, T as in Tom. And then the film's Instagram account is Scar_film_2025.
All right, sure. Yep. And you know me, man, Buddy Rahmig. You can catch me at Yeah Buddy ENT on all my Instagram and social media handles. And if you want to follow the Yeah Buddy podcast, you know we're streaming on all platforms where we stream your podcast. So you could go to Yeah Buddy ENT for more podcasts, stand-up comedy, sketches, and all that good jazz. Like I said, y'all, this was another episode of the Yeah Buddy podcast. Thank you again for my guests for sliding through. If you were a returning guest, thank y'all for tuning in. And if this is your first time, I hope y'all come back next time. We gonna point to this camera right here, y'all. This is that's the camera we out, y'all. Deuces. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Oops.